If you have any story you want to follow up on, kindly just go online, citynewsroom.com, Channel One News. You know, if it's big enough, we have it.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, it means that it's not
that
worth
means
your
it's not
attention.
news.
No, Charlie, yeah, correct. Yeah, in the spirit. Anyway, so it's now time for us to go to an interesting conversation, you know, you had with Reverend Benny.
Oh, yes.
Exactly, on why hard work, you know, may not be enough, you know, and why it's also very important. So, guys, let's take a look at this when we are back. There's a lot more right here on Sunday Breakfast.
Welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast right here on Channel One TV with me, Inu Safo. We're going into a conversation with Reverend Bernie Osei-Duah. He's a reverend and a counselor. Remember when they used to say working hard is equal to progress or more money? And you're working hard in these days, yet the thing, no, they come. As a reverend is here to help us understand that and why this conversation is necessary, very important. In the context that we find ourselves. Reverend, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
Why is this particular conversation important right now?
So in my line of work, not just as a Reverend Minister, but consulting, I do a lot around leadership and performance consulting, aside of HR and customer experience. And because of that, I work a lot with teams for my own company, for organizations that we work for, and for various leaders across various levels within organizations. One of the things that is very common is a lot of people believe so much that just work hard and you keep growing up. But I've come to realize that effort without strategy will end up in exhaustion. You end up very exhausted. You end up very frustrated because here you're working hard with expectations. Exactly as you introduced that if you work hard, you know, the money will flow, the rewards will come. But it is possible to work hard by work wrong.
Right.
Few weeks ago, I was in a kind of engagement with an organization and its leadership where one gentleman was called in. His role was in a particular department within the organization. He ended up actually doing a lot of very hard work, but totally away from why he was there. And guess what? It wasn't a very pleasant conversation.
So you can put in a lot of effort, but you'll be moving in a complete...
You can work very hard, but work wrong. That is why it's important that everywhere you are, you need to manage what expectations people have of you, especially the people who pay you, the people who are managing you, the people who are supervising your work, and whatever contributions you make. So hard work is not enough anymore. It is very important that if you are within the corporate circles, you're playing it right. If you are within, you know, the structures of your organization, work hard, but of course have a strategy. And that is very important. And as we're beginning the year, it's important to have conversations like this. The kind of systems and the structures you put around what you're doing. Either than that, your effort will end up actually frustrating you.
So why are people working so many long hours and yet they're not seeing the benefits or the financial money rolling in?
Long hours is not equal to financial benefits.
Really?
It's not written anywhere.
Really? Well, in other jurisdictions, if the
really?
longer you work, the
Give
more
me
your money
one.
comes, especially because, you know, in the States, they are paid per hour.
Yeah.
Yes, which is different from here.
Okay.
So shouldn't you getting maybe 20 hours work?
So let's get into it. Long hours. How many days, how many months can you go those long hours?
Maybe.
And you can keep your productivity levels and
The
efficiency
same.
level at the same tangent.
Right.
Because you're human. And along the line, something breaks. Look, I've known people who've worked for companies for over 40 years. And they've been there, they've been faithful. Guess what? other people keep passing them by, just getting over them. And they remain in the same area, same level, or maybe a notch here and there. So many people are working so hard, but they have no strategy. And it's very important that if you work within, whatever environment you find yourself, it's not enough just to work hard. You must have a strategy. There must be a system that is actually manning how you are applying yourself. Either than that, you do all the donkey works for as many years as possible, but the rewards will not show for it.
All right. Reverend, let's talk about the differences between effort, strategy, and systems, so that at least we can streamline how we're going to start working hard and get the maximum benefit from that.
Effort is activity.
Okay.
Everything you are doing. So when we talk about the fact that you can have effort, but without a strategy, you frustrate yourself.
Okay.
Let's typically use an example where you've been given a land to cultivate, right? You have the energy. So guess what? You pulled in. You just want to make things happen. While you are at it, there is a better way to do what you are doing. If today you have a 3-acre land to cultivate, and in your mind, you are thinking of getting 12 guys into the field to actually get it prepared for your seed to come into the land, you might end up spending about a month and over before you can clear that land. And by the time you finish midway, whatever you might have done behind you is also growing back up. They won't be waiting for you. Now, strategy means that I need to get this done. But I have a plan that within a week, I must actually get my processes going. So now what do you do? What do I bring in to let me achieve the best as quickly as possible in order for me to get ahead? Let me make this more practical. So Eno works for CTTV. Eno's intention is to work so hard. And she hopes that management will take note of that. They will recognize her, probably promote her, and give her the opportunity to actually climb up. Along the line, opportunities come up, but there are prerequisites that allows you at certain levels within the organization. So it means that while you're working hard, you must have a strategy to be a very competent candidate that fills in that role. This is why people would be at work, but they will still have a strategy of how to improve themselves, go through schooling, pick on a degree, pick on a master's program. What they are doing is building their capacity in order to fit into a strategy so that they can become, if you like, ready for when the opportunity knocks the door. But if you think just hard work is enough, you're missing something. This is why having a strategy, and by that, having a system you take yourself through. System means that you're putting the things in place that makes you deny some things and go after others. And anytime I've seen people really wanted to put in the work, they are not going for the parties. They want to make time to rest a bit, because by tomorrow morning, they are back in class before they are going back to work. Afterward, they are back in class, and they give themselves time frames for which to achieve certain things and be successful at what they want to do. Effort alone
is not enough.
Hard work alone will not get you there. If you continue what you're doing at the tangent to which you're doing, right, without wanting to improve, today, at the advent of AI, a lot of it is changing in the spectrum of the law. It's changing in media. It's changing in agriculture. So many different areas. Then Eno decides, you know what, I'm a media person. I love what I do. I think I'm an expert in what I do. But I've been so good at it and competent at it that I don't want to add anything else. I give you 2 years. You'll be obsolete. Because at the end of the day, even your gadgets will change. Even the way, the formats of your will change. Today, what you're doing, we can get an AI assistant to actually do that. The questions you're asking. So what else do you actually add to the game that gives you the urge to be the one championing the conversation? Today, camera angles are being fed, all right, totally by AI. I can sit in my room and have an entire script, camera angles, tones, and so many things in directing and producing a show done. Within 30 minutes, I can come up with an entire plan for production. That covers an entire season. So if you're not improving yourself, hard work alone is not enough.
Reverend, then how do you scale up?
Thank you. So then the conversation comes. Look, I think that it's very important that people pay attention. And I'm shouting this not because, you know, maybe I've found something to eat today. No. But I feel that we're at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
People must start really drawing some very critical conversations, getting themselves into certain rooms, hearing some voices on certain things that will change the tangent of the decisions they're about to make in the next 12 months. And it's very important that how you start will determine how you end. The kind of things you invest or you put in today, into your relationship, into all the various things. And I'm glad. I mean, this is Breakfast Sunday, and we're having conversations about hard work. Look, even in your relationships, if you think hard work alone, love alone is enough, you will miss it somewhere. Because today, along the line, how I feel about you will change. The way I think about things will change. My taste and preferences will change. Because immediately certain things begin to change in the dynamics of my ecosystem, then my taste and preferences will come along. And if I don't have any strategy in which I'm approaching life, that is where it is important that get into certain rooms where certain conversations are being had. You see, what you hear determines what you pursue. Something you hear will determine what you start going after. It will actually, influence your focus, right? One day I heard a story about the guy called Usain Bolt. They were at PE, running around. The PE master got closer and said, I like the way you run. I think you can be a very good athlete if you put yourself to the work.
That was all
Jokingly played around, To cut a long story short, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Something you hear would determine something else you pursue. That is why getting yourself into certain rooms, especially at the beginning of the year, matters a lot. Look, people are going for workshops, conferences, trying to pick ideas, trying to find out. We have a new government in place with so many policies they're trying to implement. And a lot of people are not even paying attention where they can plug in. And this is why it's important that sometimes you go into certain rooms, get into certain environments where some things are being released so that you can be able to get yourself in the right direction. Because you can still apply the effort, but in the wrong direction. You can still do all the hard work, but doing it in the wrong way. And when these things are there, then you know that your hard work is not enough. You may just need to apply a little more in the right direction, and it gets you the results. So if you are looking for those promotions, then you need to start paying attention to what are the things I need to do? What skills do I need to develop? How many years do I have? What do I need to add to my competencies to make me rise up 5 years down the line to become the GM of BBC? You never know.
I like that. You mentioned skills.
Yep.
I was going to ask how important developing skills is in this economy.
And no, it's very critical. It's very, very critical. Today, if you're not learning digital skills, you have a problem. As someone who manages knowledge and work with knowledge a lot, I see it as a challenge, that I'm not paying attention to digital skills a lot, like I would have loved to. There's so much opportunity. Look, you're working here for a while, right? A couple of years. Someone switches a camera on and talks about a digital product. Give them 3 months. You know what you are earning, right? In a month, they could do it in a day.
Yeah.
At least I know 3 people who can easily, just by understanding what skills are required in the next 10 years. See, if we don't improve our capacity, a lot of us will become irrelevant and obsolete in some few years. If we don't increase our capacity, there is constantly a better way to do what we are doing. So acquiring skills are very important. Some knowledge sets in certain areas are very critical. And this is why this conversation of letting people, all right, aware that, look, hard work alone is not enough. You must be able to look at improving yourself.
And with the digital skills, it cuts across all areas and sectors of our life.
Every area.
Media, like every area.
Every area. Every area. As a trainer, it's become so important that, look, I've started in many trainings, right, and it's, death by PowerPoint. Today, no. There are so many ways to run training. There are platforms by which you can actually get the training to be interactive, even if you want to use PowerPoint. So many different ways that by the time you are running through the workshop, you can actually have actual data analyzed on your screens. That is talking about how people are understanding and relating to the information you are sharing. Look, the world has gone way ahead of us, and there is so much that we need to do to play catch up. But I'm telling you, if we hang out where we are and just want to approach things the way it is, no. And just remember that going in the right direction will determine the rewards that you're talking about.
Reverend, all of this begins, I believe, with a mindset, shift.
Yep.
How do we get our mind? Because, sometimes you're comfortable in where you are. Yes, you want to advance, but the willpower is not there. So you need a kick or something. How do you get that mindset shift? Or how do you prompt yourself that?
See,
I can't sit here forever. I need to advance.
Perception is everything.
Right.
I think I heard Apostle Joshua Selman said one day that you can never rise above the accuracy of your perception. The way you perceive things will determine how you move towards various things. In the Bible, there's a short story about how a wise person sees danger, right, and takes precautions. But a simple thing, someone who is just simple will walk towards it and pay the penalty for it. You see, it's all predicated on how they perceive that problem, that danger. Someone sees danger, someone does not. When you understand that, look, I need to be able to have a better understanding of my approach in life. Right now, it's about career, it's about your relationship, it's about marriage, and how you intend to go in that direction. Then your mindset would have to be able to shift if you intend to see different results. Look, talking about mindset shift, it is important for people to understand that if you want growth, there are things you do to grow, but the question is, in what area? Yeah. Is it about career? Is it about health? Is it your finances? Because if you want to grow your finances, there are definite structures you put yourself in. If by now you are 35 and you still cannot keep money in your account, and your mind is you spend and you save what is left, then you have a problem. Because the mindset for growing wealth is that you must be able to save and spend what is left.
Yeah.
So many people struggle with that. True. And the truth is, you have so much and so many demands that you can never save anything if you want to keep spending to actually kill all your bills. So it becomes very important that, look, there are certain disciplines you need to introduce into what you're doing. And this is where structure and systems comes to play. What do you do when you first get paid? A lot of people have a different appetite the day the pay hits their account.
Oh, yeah.
The feeling is different.
Oh, yeah.
The appetite is different.
Oh, definitely.
They think pizza, they think this, they think... That is a consumer mindset.
Right.
And look, it's funny what people do at Christmas. It's funny the extent to which people can actually spend even what they don't have because it's Christmas. The question is, why? What is it about Christmas that you must overspend? Why? And if you don't have a structure around what you are doing, I can promise you we'll come back 15 days later. We're in January. You know January has 72 days.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, by week 1, you're already panting like a pregnant fish in water. You're panting for air.
I like the laughter in the studio because people can agree with the 72 days in
Oh,
January.
yeah. January is not a straight month. 72 good days. And for those that are listening, look, this is just day 3. We're still going.
Reverend Bernie, on that note, how can we move from survival mode to growth mode?
Okay.
Yeah.
So first, I will always say that have information, right? It is very important to understand in what direction do you want to grow? What are the areas? And when I spoke earlier on about the fact that there are certain rooms where certain conversations happen, be in those rooms. See, people can trigger you in a certain direction. It changes everything for you. I sat in a room, heard some very great people talk about some things around investments. My mind shifted about spending at Christmas. My mind shifted about spending and even changing the way I motivate my children. Because at first, I thought it was great that, look, if I had to get my kids to be entrepreneurial, when they do things for me, I give them. So polish the shoe, I give you 5 cedis. Do this, I give you 10 cedis. But I realized that, no, it was wrong. Because I'm not teaching them to serve. And service is one of the skills and attitude you must have if you want to succeed today. It's a soft skill. A lot of people don't know how to assist people. A lot of people don't know how to serve. They always want to do things for you with expectations of you giving something back to them. If you do something for me and I pay you, I owe you nothing.
Yeah.
But I can change your life and do something bigger for you than that 100 cedis I paid you. And it comes through having the attitude for service. So I have done things for people when they say, oh, take it. I said, no. I find it an honor that I can actually offer an assistance. So anytime you need my help, please call me. What I have done is currency, is leverage. But if I see the carrot, it's money. And those are the mindset shifts that helps you in that process. Either than that, you will miss a lot of big things in life. And for those of you who meet big people, you need to know how to play that game. All right? So get into the rooms. Then more importantly, learn the things. Look, I know there are a lot of things that are happening this January, a lot of workshops. People are doing goal setting, what. There is one that I know is coming up, I'm involved in. It's called Takeoff. You know, getting yourself into the right space with clarity and precision of how you can be able to enter into your year properly, you know, so that you are not losing steam by March. A lot of people start, this year, they ask for this year, ask for this year. By March, they lose steam and they look confused, but have structure.
Okay.
And you see, when you start without structure, then you end up actually with frustration. And January is a construction site. It's not a party. So use your January to do those things, and it will help you to have clarity for how the year would go.
Reverend, if someone is watching us and they're stuck, what is one practical way that they can kickstart their life in general?
Oh, growth, kickstart.
Yeah.
Look,
one practical step.
One thing that you can do is have a clearer view of what you intend to do for a particular period. Maybe 1 year is too long.
Okay.
So give yourself the first quarter. See, goals are very important, but goals that are written down and they are visible becomes very, very important because it begins to work on your mind. Every time when you wake up, you can see, ooh. So for example, let's say I want to lose weight. I want to be skinny, you know? And I said, I want to be at this weight by this time of the year, right? 75 kg. Let's say by June. Then I wake up. When I pick the pizza, I see it. When I pick the shawarma, I see it. When I find a bowl of fufu with 8 proteins, expedition to the animal's kingdom, I see it. And constantly it's reminding me. And so have the goal. But more importantly, build the discipline, not motivation. Because discipline is more important than motivation. Your motivation will fade off with one debt on your system. But discipline will keep you going no matter what. So pick one thing and have the discipline to stick to it no matter what. I tell you, that will put you on the path of growth.
So sometimes there's the clutter and which particular goal you should pick. How do you make sure that this goal is for me and that I can achieve it by that first quarter?
This is where, one, talking to people who understand how to guide you through it matters.
Okay.
You know, speaking to coaches, see, there is nothing you and I are going to do that is new under the sun. There are people that have gone ahead of us, right? There may be camera people in your studio today who have no plans for the year. For them, it's about wake up, come to work, and go back home, have some food, watch TV, go to sleep, wake up in the morning. So they're actually in the rat race. This is what has been the pattern for their years for the past 4 or 5 years. There's nothing they're pursuing. One goal would change everything for you. Someone will spend money at funerals and everything. Then he was given a land. And then he makes up in mind, you know what? I'm tired of renting. This year, I want to put something on there. Suddenly, that goal to say, I want to build, changes everything. Now, when they are putting money to go and buy, Charlie, let's go to Cheesy Pizza. Let's grab, like, Charlie, 200 and something CDs can buy me some blocks. Charlie, you know what? I'm cool.
Right.
One goal. So have the goal and the discipline to keep to it. Even without talking to anyone, if you can set that goal. Remember, when your heart decides a destination, go. Your mind will start building the map to get you there.
Reverend, if hard work opens the door, what keeps the door open? Is it faith, wisdom, or system?
System has wisdom in it. Because when you have a system, I'm telling you, look, you are an example. What time do you come to work? What time do you have to be, for your early morning show? Because of that, what time do you wake up? What time do you sleep? You've created a system for yourself.
Right.
When a friend comes and says, I'm coming, let's do Netflix and chill till 3 a.m.
No.
Nah. So because of that system you've created for yourself, you understand. And no becomes an easy thing.
Right.
So saying no to people is, look, I got to get myself into this place. And because of that, I need to work myself backwards to achieve it. And this is why systems are the best for you.
Reverend Bernie Osei-Duah, always a pleasure to have you in studio. Thank you so much. If you haven't learned anything today, pick one goal. Give yourself the first quarter and make sure that you stick to it, the discipline to stick to that particular goal.
Yep.
And then see yourself shine through, at least for the first quarter. And remember, January has 72 days. So that's Reverend Bernie Osei-Duah. I hope you learned something. I learned something. And we'll be right back after this.